Oh, yeah. Another Monday morning. And today, we're going to answer one of the burning questions within nerdy communities these days. Does everything after Endgame suck? Are we past peak? And you know what? You know what else? I get accused a lot of not liking things. Of not liking friggin' comic book movies and stuff since Endgame. And I wanted to take a peek, actually, because, you know, a couple of weeks ago, we did this thing where we were talking about the Disney Plus shows. We were talking about Secret Invasion. It might have even been the first week that we did it. And a lot of you guys were like, you haven't liked a show since Loki. And I was like, wait, what? And I started to, like, count on my toes and stuff. And I was like, oh, my God, it's kind of true. No! So I wanted to do that with comic book movies since Avengers Endgame. So that's what we're going to do today. We also are gambling today. In fact, I'm going to drop some coinage for everybody that's in here early. Let me drop a little coinage because, of course, we did not stream on Friday. And my apologies on that. There was honestly just not much going on. And I had a bunch of other stuff that I wanted to work on. So I just kind of chose to take the day off. Boom. There you go. 10,000 nerd coin to everybody that's in here right now early. Thank you. And we'll do gambling today, as I promised you guys in the Discord on Friday while we were talking about it. So there you go. Now, show notes before we get too much further into it. I do want to go over some of the news, some of the other things that are going on, like a little bit of weirdness when it comes to Mission Impossible and the box office for that. So I wanted to kind of talk about that because, you know, with the strike going on and with a lot of these, the struggle with streaming and Hollywood residuals, writers, actors, everything, it's a fascinating topic. So I want to kind of touch on what might be happening, what I think is going on with Indiana Jones. And I think Mission Impossible. I think Mission Impossible will end up doing pretty good. But there's a scenario in which it doesn't do well. And that's really kind of weird. And so I kind of want to explore that. There's some other like rumors, stuff going on with DC, all kinds of stuff that we can get into as well. Tomorrow, we will be doing a Nerdvengers stream. So look out for that. We'll be streaming at 11 a.m. And we'll just talk about some kind of more in-house things for the members and everything like that. That'll be cool. And I guess the only other really important thing to bring up is that this is the last month for the Prime member tier. Okay, so we've had this thing for a long time where there's two tiers of membership, a $5 a month and a $10 a month. The $10 a month was basically like an extra businessy live stream each week where I sort of talk more about the behind the scenes of the channel, YouTube, and try to help people with their YouTube channel. And we're ending that. There's a lot of different reasons why, but I'm basically saying that if you are a part of that, come on by for the last couple of weeks, man. We're going to have some really good streams, and I really want to try to help out as many of you guys as I can, looking over your channels, etc., before we sort of pull the plug on that. It's the end of an era. It's a little bit sad, but trust me, it's going to be so much better for the channel, for the community. We're going to be able to do a lot more fun stuff with that time. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that. Is there anything else? Is there anything else I'm missing? I don't really think so. Anything else, chat? I think that's about it. I mean, we've got the meetup in October. We're going to talk more about that. Yeah. I think that's kind of all the big pieces. Now, let's talk a little bit about Mission Impossible. First of all, how many of you guys went out and saw Mission Impossible this weekend? Throw a 1 into the chat if you saw it. Throw a 1 into the chat if you saw it. Okay. Seems like a lot of us here saw it. Interesting. Okay, cool. So here's the deal. I saw it. I loved it. I thought it was incredible, dude. Like, really, truly, one of the best theater experiences I've had in a long time. It was freaking awesome. Really a lot of fun. And I think a lot of people expected this movie to come out and perform really, really well. And it did perform well, but it didn't perform really, really well. I saw a lot of different people debating about this. Some people saying, like, oh, it's completely fine. Some people saying it's really concerning. I think at the end of the day, obviously, we'll have to see what the second weekend looks like. But the problem is it has really steep competition. Apparently, the Barbie movie, a lot of buzz around that, a lot of tickets being sold for that. Oppenheimer, new Christopher Nolan movie. I mean, that's fucking sick. You only get to see so many Christopher Nolan movies in theaters, and it's always an event. So we'll see, like, what the legs look like for that film. But it came in way under, well, I shouldn't say way under, but it came in under industry projections. I've seen some people say this is because the effect of Top Gun Maverick, and basically just that Top Gun Maverick so big that Hollywood sort of baked in these expectations for Tom Cruise because, you know, he performed so big last year, et cetera, et cetera. Why is the chat not up on the screen too? What the hell? What the hell? Is there something going on? Oh, there it is. Huh. That's weird. It was turned off. Maybe for when, yeah, anyway. But yeah, so it definitely came in under projections. We're going to have to wait and see, like, how it goes. I think if you look at the correlation between this film and some of the other Mission Impossibles, it's right on track. But a lot of people, especially in Hollywood, were like, dude, Tom Cruise, savior of cinema. People are eating this shit up. They love Tom Cruise. They're going to go nuts for this movie. And it just didn't perform at the level that I think some people were thinking. Here's the thing, though. If you look at the trajectory of Top Gun Maverick, that movie didn't, like, blow up right away. It had a good opening, but then it just kept making money. Dude, that movie reminded me a lot of the first Avatar film, where it just, like, people just kept going to see that thing, man, and just, like, boom, legs on legs on legs. The movie Mission Impossible has really good cinema scores. We'll see what the legs are for the film. But, man, if it underperforms, I feel like Hollywood should be pretty shaken by that. If, like, the savior of cinema, the self-appointed, like, you know, person that's going to turn the industry around, that's I think, given a lot of care to how they talk about the audience, how they address the audience, and how they really want the audience to know that it's about them. If all of that stuff still doesn't really amount to, like, another big crazy box office, that's going to be really tough for the industry of Hollywood right now because of where they're at with the strike, where they're at with all this other stuff. It's a wild time, man. I'm sure you guys have probably looked at a lot of different articles, maybe even watched a few videos about the strike and maybe its implications and everything like that. But, you know, I was getting into some discussions with people over the weekend. And the thing that's wild, right? And I have a lot of empathy for the writers. I have a lot of empathy for the actors. I absolutely think they should get a fair deal. And I think that, you know, the executive part of Hollywood is completely out of touch. They are super greedy. And it is weirdly out of balance, their salaries compared to the salaries of working people. Like, you know, Sean Gunn had a video interview where he was talking about how it used to be the case in the 80s that the CEO would make something like 30 or 40 times more than the lowest paid employees. And that now it's 400 times more. That, like, Bob Iger, and this is what's crazy, is like Bob Iger came out of retirement and just, like, makes $50 million in 2 years. Like, boom, just like that's like NBA superstar kind of fucking crazy amount of money, right? It's absurd. And if you look at the amount of money these people have made over the last 5 years, it's just crazy, man. It's just fucking crazy, dude. Like, and I'm a capitalist. Like, I fucking love, like, I don't know if I should say I love capitalism, but let's just say capitalism has been pretty good to me. And I've, you know, I've tried to make it and make money and do things to make money. Like, I think capitalism is a fine system when it's kept in balance. And maybe this is sort of a watershed moment where we're just kind of looking at this shit. We're like, dude, that shit doesn't make any sense at all. Like, it literally does not make any fucking sense that these people are making that much money, right? And I saw some really interesting discussions online. People were saying like, dude, I'm pretty sure AI could figure out how to purchase other companies that are doing well in a market that would have brand synergy with Disney. Meaning, Bob Iger's out here doing all this shit trying to cost cut with AI. The irony being, his job is the easiest one to replace with AI. Maybe not completely, because I think you might need a front-facing human face for Wall Street purposes or some shit. I don't know. But it's just crazy and ironic. The other thing that's really wild about this is that the companies are not making money on streaming, okay? And this was very wild to see. I'll actually pull up this report. It's really interesting, dude. This is from the Wall Street Journal, dude. My God. Crazy times. Let me see if I can pull this up. Hopefully I don't crash the fucking stream here. Things have just been a little weird with the stream. All right, let's see if we can get this up here. Yeah, boom shakalaka. Okay, so check this out, dude. Now, this is Geeks Vibe Nation, but they are talking about what's in a Wall Street Journal article. Disney has reportedly promised investors for nearly 3 years that Disney Plus will be profitable by September of 2024. Some Disney executives have now expressed doubts about whether the company can hit that target. So this thing might not even be profitable on the timetable that they set. Can you imagine what's going to happen to the stock price when that happens? And here's the real irony and the trickiness of the spot that we're actually in right now. If they give the writers and the actors what they want, they will never become profitable. I personally don't think so. Netflix is maybe the only company that's in Hollywood and kind of an outside force, really, right? But Netflix is the only company that's streaming that's actually making money. And Netflix also happens to be the company that is the biggest block in the way of the negotiations going on in Hollywood right now. Because Netflix's model is different than the traditional Hollywood model. So think about what that means. Think about what that means. They literally can't, unless they drastically change the streaming model, they cannot give these actors and these writers what they want, because they have zero path to profitability. So they made a promise and went into debt, and they told the shareholders streaming is the future, and by 2024 this thing will be profitable, and then we'll be basically printing money like Netflix does, okay? And then what happened was maybe like some kind of level of like peak consumption, but certainly a level of peak streaming consumption. The growth has halted on all of the platforms. And I think there's somewhat of like a streaming, I think it's a little bit of fatigue of the wallet, right? People can't afford to like have all these different streaming services. But the content itself doesn't even justify the cost on a monthly basis. I think that's really what happened with a lot of these services. Is like, for me personally with HBO Max, I'm like, dude, it's like the fourth app I use. It's the app I go to if there's literally nothing good free on Prime, nothing good on Netflix. I mean, Disney, I barely open Disney Plus. That's not even in there. But like, yeah, it's crazy, right? So they've all hit a point where they're not hitting the projections that they had years ago. Now they're in the middle of this massive legal battle that could drastically change the entire formula that basically set them on this path to profitability. It's crazy. Like, it's really, really wild right now, man. And, you know, my quote tweet on this, and this is something that I think is ridiculous, and another reason why I don't think it'll actually be profitable at all. They once had a path to profitability that was creating so much value on the platform, everyone would have to subscribe. Now, they're spending less on production, advertisement. They're lengthening the time before movies drop on the platform. and taking content off the platform. And I should have put on here actually that they're also taking content from the platform that was exclusive to the platform and putting it out on ABC for free. This has happened with Andor. They're going to do it again with Miss Marvel. So now their path to profitability is ripping as much cost and value out of this as they possibly can and trying to like get some money from it elsewhere. It's not good. And it's possible, like, here's where I think, I'll tell you what they're probably thinking, and then I'll tell you why I think they're going to fucking lose. And this is horrible. And they're going to use the same thinking that they've been using for the past 5 to 6 years that is way past the times. They don't understand the public. They don't understand public discourse. They don't understand social media as the new public square. They don't understand word of mouth. They're so fucking out of touch. What they think is that y'all won't notice, basically. They think you won't notice, and you'll just keep paying for Disney Plus. And, oh shit, I thought this movie would be on Disney Plus by now. Oh, I guess it's not. That's not that big of a deal. Whatever, right? Oh shit, I thought The Mandalorian was going to continue to be really good television. It's mid, but, you know, whatever. I guess I'll keep it, you know? Like, oh, wait, this Willow show that maybe I kind of wanted to check out, and it's just like, now's the time. It's not even on the fucking platform anymore. Oh, well, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. Disney Plus is still great, etc., etc. So, let me tell you why I don't think that's going to happen. Because the narrative and, like, what is happening with discourse via social media is more popular than their own content. People are spending more time on social media, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, not Threads. How's Threads going, by the way? All y'all. Killing it over there? Blowing up? How's Threads doing? Anyway, my point is, they're so behind the times that they will see a lack of subscription growth. And they will actually see a decline in subscriptions. They're now like thought of as a very churnable service. Like for me personally, if I didn't have to do next 2 weeks of Secret Invasion, which is basically the homework that they have roped me into as the content creator, I would have definitely gotten rid of Disney Plus. In between the Ahsoka show, which, by the way, it might be 8 episodes, but it's only going to run for 7 weeks, I believe, because they're doing 2 episodes at the beginning. After that shit is done, I would totally get rid of it until Loki. After Loki, I want to get rid of it until the next actual good show. I don't care about Echo one bit. You know what I mean? So that's like kind of where I think they are at. And part of it for me, dude, is like, okay, if you're going to increase prices, you're going to literally take shit off the platform, and you're putting stuff that was supposed to be exclusive to this platform on other platforms, and I have to wait longer to get my movies on. Like, I should have had Avatar 2 on Disney Plus by now. What the fuck is happening? I am actively looking to not spend on Disney Plus. Like, think about that. That's where the brand that's where we are at least for me personally. It's like, instead of looking forward to it and thinking it's really cool and all these different things, I literally live now in active pursuit of when I can get rid of this shit. And if I wasn't doing YouTube, that would be a lot more, because I sort of feel like an obligation for some of you guys that still want to, you know, watch the show and get like coverage, etc., that I have to do that. To be honest with you, too, can I go really fucking wild on you? Can I double down on the craziness? Do you want to know how I really feel about this? This is how bad it is. I feel that my experience with Secret Invasion would be better if instead of actually watching the show, I just watched Paul's breakdowns every week. It would certainly save some time. I'm not even kidding. Like, that's not even like hyperbole. That's like real talk, dude. what the fuck are we doing here? You know what I mean? So, no, I don't think it's ever going to be profitable. I think it might go down as the biggest L of all time for Disney. I think Disney Plus could end up being the very thing that makes Disney part of Apple. You know? Those rumors are starting to swirl again. And how could they not? Disney just turned in the biggest bomb of their history in Indiana Jones. The movie won't even hit $400 million. That's what it fucking cost. Hundreds of millions of dollars gone. In the last 9 movies or something, they're down about $1 billion. Bananas. Absurd. So, point being, I guess the macro point here, not to just totally shit on Disney, even though we could, and it's pretty fun. They're all kind of screwed. Hollywood, all the studios, they are approaching this crazy drastic change. Most of the executives have no idea what the fuck they're doing. This whole, man, part of the thing with the strike that's going to be really bad for the studios, especially Disney now, is that there are a whole bunch of people that actually don't care that much about the workers' rights, the strikes, people working in Hollywood. But they fucking hate Disney. And so they're willing to get out there and bash Bob Iger for making seriously out-of-touch comments at the beginning of a strike when we're in the middle of a recession. And they don't even have to, they're not representing the workers' rights. They're just calling out the hypocrisy, pointing, and laughing. And that shit is going to reach more people than fucking Secret Invasion. That's for damn sure. So we're in a hey man, it's going crazy, bro. Hey, it's crazy right now. I don't know what to tell you. This shit is crazy. I've never experienced this. First time in my life. There were writer strikes in my life, but there's never been a writer strike and an actor strike at the time when Hollywood's going fucking broke. Everybody else is going broke. If they literally bend to these demands, they will never be profitable in streaming. I don't know. And you know what? Just because Leon brought it up, let's talk about Kathleen Kennedy for a second. That's very good Nespresso, man. It's very good. You guys ever have an espresso? I don't know if you're a coffee guy or gal. Man, you got to try an espresso. That shit is great. She gone. Yeah, no, we all love it. A den of hate. Whoa. I'm not even hating, dog. I'm not even hating. Guys, do you think I'm a hater? Throw a 1 into the chat if you think I'm a hater. Chat, keep an eye out on these motherfuckers to put 1s in the chat, man. Get them out of here. You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all. See, there's a few of them there. Get them out of here. Carl! Oh, Trev! Fucking A, Trev. Anyway, Kathleen Kennedy. So the new reports, guys. Can you believe? Here's the new reports. Just a little negative, Neil. I'll accept it. I'll take it. Here's the deal with Kathleen Kennedy. I know, Brian. I'm joking as well. You're the biggest hater on the internet, bro? John, whoa. I'm pretty sure there are bigger haters. Where's... you fucking guys. Okay. So, apparently the new reports are... she's not gone because nobody wants the job. Apparently, it bombed, and she should have been gone, but no one wants the job. And the source came from, let me look this up, because I'm not actually not 100%. It was, I think, Cosmic Book News, Matt McGloin, I think, who actually has pretty good sources. Somebody check me in chat. I believe it was Matt McGloin and cosmic book news. Somebody help me out with that, though. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. So, this is apparently... Guys, do you remember McGrowing? You motherfucker. You made me read that. Bounding into comics? Okay, that's not... They're not usually reliable, and they don't even source reliable people. Usually. I thought it came from a different source that was better. Help me out with this. To be honest with you guys, though, I mean, we're in Rumorville here, but I can't even... I mean... Who would want that job, dude? Like, can you think of who would want that job, chat? Who do you think even would want that job? Besides, like, me. And, like, Theory and shit. Yeah, a lot of us, right? Spielberg? I don't think so, actually. I think mostly the thing with Spielberg is, I mean, first of all, I don't think he has that much of an attachment to Star Wars. He likes Star Wars, of course. He loves George, but especially after this Indiana Jones movie, he might just want to go fuck off for a while. I also think Spielberg is too old. Oh, dude, see, Kevin Feige's the move, but the problem is, as much as I hate to admit this, he has proven there are limits to his capacity as a leader and producer. I love Kevin Feige. I simp for Kevin Feige. I'm a tier 3 sub. You understand? But phase 4 and 5 so far have proven he cannot... He needs to be in charge of everything. He can't... His lieutenants... Nope. Rian Johnson. Nah, see, like, in all seriousness, like, outside of the fact that the fucking Last Jedi might be responsible for billions of dollars of brand damage, really, I don't think Ryan's that guy, you know? I think he's a very creative guy. I really respect his storytelling abilities, and even though I hate The Last Jedi, I like Looper. I mean, Brick is fucking phenomenal. His Glass Onion movies are phenomenal. He's a great creative, but he does not want to be an executive. Definitely not. George, I don't think... Do you guys think George would be interested? Why can't George take it back? Well, there's several reasons why. I wonder if it would be within the realm of possibility for George to get hired as the president. I don't think George would ever do that, though. Because he hates... First of all, he hates Disney at this point. I mean, let's be honest. He probably hates Disney. He's also always hated not having all the control. So he never took Lucasfilm public. And there are some cool interviews with him sort of talking about that. He doesn't want no part of that. So he would never do it. Tim Cook, no, I don't think so. He doesn't have the creative, you know, the creative side at all, in my opinion. No Hollywood experience either. Filoni is a creative, not a suit. Yeah, it is possible that they could do a team up with Dave and another person. I do wonder, though, if Dave has just said no. You know? Yeah, so the Christopher Nolan thing is interesting. Sky Guy brings that up. He has spoken a little bit about doing a film, but, like, again, Christopher Nolan would not want to be a suit, man. Jon Favreau, I don't think so, man. I mean, I don't think so. Although, I wonder if any of the, like, sort of rumors about, like, some drama between John and Kathy, I wonder if any of that does stem from her sort of boxing him out for that position. I don't know. And so the thing that's kind of wild, man, is like, as we're sitting here talking about this, doesn't it seem, Lizzo, 100%, doesn't it seem a little bit more likely that this is actually the case? Because at this point, like, it's beyond conspiracy. It's almost an opposite. It's almost like the conspiracy has flipped. Where now it's like almost a conspiracy as to why Kathy hasn't been fired. I mean, I don't fucking get it. Can anybody explain it to me? We went from, at the times of The Force Awakens and then going into The Last Jedi, people believing that Kathleen should be fired, which at the time felt so ridiculous and out of pocket, to years later, it being the opposite. It feels so ridiculous and out of pocket that she's still there. It's crazy. And I think a lot of people, even-handed people that don't, have any particular beef with her, just kind of have to stand back and say, like, yo, this shit, like, Willow is literally destroyed. Indiana Jones, like, going out as the worst box office in the history of Disney? Like, what the fuck, bro? What? I just don't, yeah, so, like, we're in such a weird place where it's like, at this point, we have to kind of come up with reasons as to why she isn't, and it feels like nobody wanting the job is part of it. And it's not like a sports team where you can kind of have an interim head coach while you look for a head coach. Nobody even wants to take over Disney. Like, nobody even wants Bob Iger's job, dude. Holy shit. UPS is going on strike on the 31st. UPS has 3 most profitable years because of the pandemic. UPS didn't want the drivers, just like studio executives. Yeah, Rosie, we'll talk about that. I agree with you, dude. It's fucking crazy, bro. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, so it's just like this really weird, unprecedented time. A lot of chatter about like what would happen with Disney with, the Apple stuff is coming back up. I think the Apple purchase could be great for them, to be honest. And I know some people are like, oh man, I don't want Disney to be owned by Apple. And I'm kind of like, why? Like, why would that be bad exactly? You're talking about 2 publicly traded companies, 2 mega corporations, 2, executive boards that make decisions. And at this point, like, I don't know for sure, but I would venture to say Apple probably has a lot more goodwill with your average consumer than Disney does. Apple ain't buying Disney, bruh. Yeah, I mean, I've heard that for years, and yet the rumors persist. And at this point, I think it actually makes the most sense than ever for that purchase to happen. And again, the rumors are real. They're actually coming out of industry people. So, who would I pick to run Lucasfilm? That's a good question. I think part of the problem with Kathy's reign is that it's become so toxic that even maybe the good people within the company, like Doug Chang, they sort of have a stink on them. Because they kind of like, even though this probably isn't the reality, the perception is they kind of like sat by and watched it all get fucked. Like, even Dave a little bit has that. I'm kind of just going, like, stream of conscious right now. We're going to get into the tier list. But can I talk a little bit about Ahsoka with you guys? And how worried I am about Ahsoka? Do you mind if we just... I don't want to be all doom and gloom, but do you mind if we just for a little bit, talk about Ahsoka? Yeah, fanjection. That makes sense, actually. That could, and by the way, that could actually work. That could be, good. Somebody with no baggage. So here's the deal with Ahsoka, man. I'm fucking worried. Okay, that trailer that we all thought was awesome, right? I mean, throw a 1 into the chat if you thought that trailer was awesome. I'm actually like low key. Kind of, how many? Like, did you guys think it was awesome? Like, what the fuck? I mean, Grant obviously did. Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay, cool. Just want to make sure I'm not crazy. I thought it was awesome. It did 7 million views in a day. That's fucking terrible, dude. That's fucking terrible. Okay? On top of that, I occasionally check in to see how the other side is living. And by that, I just mean, kind of like Fandom Menace adjacent type people. I actually enjoy some of those guys quite a bit. Like The Drinker, I think, is great. Don't always agree with his points, but great videos, cool, fun editing. And I was watching a thing where it was basically just a bunch of those guys just shitting on Ahsoka and shitting on the Ahsoka trailer. Okay? And here's the thing. Here's the main complaint about Ahsoka. As far as I can tell. Yeah, the C-Dub, that's true. That's true. And I didn't see that. I didn't actually watch that yet, but that is cool for him. Good for him. Here's the main thing I'm seeing, and you guys help me out because some of you guys probably watch a lot of these guys more than I do. The main complaint is that it's a bunch of ladies. Right? It's all female. In fact, when I post about Ahsoka and getting excited, a lot of the comments I get from people that I would call retractors are like, Force is female. Am I wrong? Am I right? Is that true? Is that the deal? You tell me. You tell me. Is that the deal? Mm-hmm. I think the view count is above average. Well, compared to what, dude? Compared to what? You're just giving them more of a platform by repeating it here on stream. I mean, that's in some ways that's kind of you. That's flattering. Also crazy. That's crazy. You look at the numbers. They've got. They're doing just fine. They're hitting a lot of people, bro. I don't think our mention here on this stream is gonna tip the balance in any meaningful way. Okay, that's very kind of you, though. So here's the deal. When it comes to that complaint, I fucking hate it because I feel as though there's a stark difference between the characters that are going to be in this show and characters like fucking Reva. Like bullshit Imperial officer lady that shoots Vader, boom, boom, fire, make him go bye-bye, uppercut with the palm strike lady in Kenobi. There's a difference, a meaningful difference between characters that are developed over years by Dave Filoni and Reva. Okay? And if we're going to lose sight of the difference, if it doesn't matter, if it's just Force is female, if it's just whammon, if it's just low-hanging fruit anti-SJW shit, then it's like, you're losing me. Like, you're losing me, and you're not a serious person, right? Here's the thing, though. The damage done by characters like Reva, by shows like Kenobi, even by the fucking stupid scooter driving motherfuckers to spin around bullshit people from Book of Boba Fett. The problem is the damage of those things is real, and it might now hurt Ahsoka. Ahsoka has nothing to do with that shit. But it seems as though a large group of people, a meaningful amount of folk, are not feeling Ahsoka because of all these fucked up things that Lucasfilm and the Disney Plus shows have done before them. I can't even blame those people. The thing is, I see the difference. I draw the line. I'm excited for Ahsoka. But I can't blame people for not. Let me just tell you this. This show underperforms. Star Wars is fucked 100%. Put it in out to pasture. Fucking sell it off. Just fire everybody, including Dave. It's over. R.I.P. Because this is like the guy. This is like the only dude left at the company that can break through these stupid barriers of fan conversation. And if he can't do that anymore, it's over. Pack it up. That's what I think. That's what I think. Bro, I'm sad now. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you sad. I just wanted to talk about what I noticed going on in the fandom. I mean, dude. Can we really blame? Again, I think there's a meaningful difference. I think a lot of that shit is like low-hanging fruit. But can you even blame these people for feeling this way? I can't. And I also think that Disney has done an incredible job of galvanizing the narratives by those folks. Dude. It's crazy. They have fucked it all up. Pretty good over the last couple of years, to be honest with you. I don't see much advertising for it. Yeah, no, they don't have any money to do that, Steve. Like, they don't have any money, dude. Will you at least do Ahsoka watch parties? I plan on doing a watch party for the first 2 episodes. And if they are as good as I think they are, and I want to stay up and watch them the following week, I will continue to do watch parties, yeah. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Maybe it's our sort of last hurrah. Maybe it'll be the final Star War there was. We'll see. Okay, anyways, now let's talk about comic book movies since Avengers Endgame. I hear this shit all the time. I'm sure you guys hear this all the time as well. Comic book movies since Endgame suck. Comic book movies died after Endgame. MCU should have died with Tony Stark, etc., etc. On top of that, I hear a lot of you guys saying, Josh, you don't even like comic book movies since Endgame. Why are you still covering them? Go cover Warhammer and get out of my face. Also, I missed this totally random ADD type moment. I missed a hair appointment, and I literally can't get my hair cut until the end of July with the actual person. Like, I go to a very special place. You might not... the hair's going to get pretty crazy. I might have to go to a new place to get my hair cut and then go back to the old place because I really like the lady that cuts my hair. Anyway. Cool. Okay. So... let's take... I might wear a hat, Sky Guy, but I'm not trying to always wear hats. Plus, it's hot in here, dude. Holy shit. Okay. So tasty. Okay, let's get into these movies, man. These are all the comic book movies that have come out since Avengers Endgame. And I have a S tier, A tier, B, C, D, and then poop tier. Now, some of these movies I have not seen. Some of these movies I've only seen once. Okay? So we'll see where we go. Okay, let's talk about The Joker. Now, The Joker is a movie that I originally scored pretty low. Okay? And I remember even coming out when The Joker was first releasing and telling you guys, I think Joker's overrated. This movie will never make over $500 million. Boy, was I wrong on that one. Yeah, wasn't a big fan of The Joker. However, oh yeah, hater, huh, John? Huh? However, I watched The Joker in the middle of the pandemic, and that shit hit different. Okay, that shit hit real different. So I gained a lot of appreciation for The Joker. I think it's a really good comic book movie, man. I do. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I don't think it's quite S. At least for me, but I wouldn't, like, if somebody said that it was S and they felt very strongly about it, I would respect that opinion. It's very good. Okay? Eternals! Another movie that I think I was a little too hard on when I first saw it. Okay? I remember, though, there was a lot, like, dude, remember going into Eternals? Man, going into Eternals was one of the first moments where the MCU fandom became a little bit fractured. Because it had the lowest Rotten Tomatoes score in the MCU. I think it was like a 53%, okay? And I remember talking about it and being like, yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the movie. And I remember my own community getting super triggered. Is Stormy in here? Because I remember Stormy specifically being like, you're being a hater. You're Eternals is great. Marvel is great. Like that basically was what he was doing, okay? Man, I remember then sitting down to watch the movie, and the first act came in, I was like, dude, that's not bad at all. Second act, I was like, dude, they're really doing it. This is really, really good. And then it gets in the third act, and I was like, oh, okay. So there's some whack stuff in Eternals, but I personally like the movie. I like it a lot more than I did the first time I watched it. I'm going to put it in the B tier. Actually, pretty decent. Something I kind of want to do a rewatch on, you know? There's definitely some fun stuff in there, and the action sequences are really, really good. Beautiful looking movie as well, for sure. Okay. Just because we got it up next, we got Spider-Man No Way Home. It's obviously S tier. Okay. Now, it's such a good movie that I think the discussion about this film is more like, is it slightly overrated? Some people will tell you it's actually not that good and it only really worked in the movie theater. There's pauses for applause and like all this stuff that doesn't work as good at home. I'm wondering if anybody feels that way. Does anybody here agree with that? Anybody agree with that? Joey Ebbs does, yeah. Some people do. And I don't think that's necessarily like totally off base. There's some wackiness in like the third act. It's, you know, it has some weird stuff. But I got to tell you, man, I think the movie actually has maybe one of the best endings in the history of comic book movies, and maybe the best ending for a Spider-Man movie. I think Across the Spider-Verse is a better movie than this movie. But I think the ending for Tom Holland's Spider-Man eclipses the ending that Miles or Gwen gets in Across the Spider-Verse. Now, you can argue that that's because that's part one of a part two. Totally agree with that. But the point is, the ending of No Way Home is so good on multiple levels that I think it really does get a high tier. I also think that when you look at Multiverse of Madness, and I love Multiverse of Madness, it's S. Just going to spoil that right away. But I can agree that the cameo stuff in Multiverse of Madness feels... It doesn't feel as meaningful as the cameo stuff in Spider-Man. The cameo stuff in Multiverse of Madness is maybe the worst part of the movie, actually, which is ironic. But they actually use the characters in a very intelligent way, and I'm talking about the Goblin mostly and the other two Spider-Men. It's very smart the way they use them. So I think the movie doesn't get enough credit for being as good as it is, but also as like bombastic and fun and great as it is. So that's where I'm at. I think it's an S tier film. Morbius. We're going to put it right into the poop category. Now, how many of you guys have seen Morbius? Put a 1 into the chat if you've seen Morbius. I'm just curious. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. I've never seen Morbius. I'm going to try my damnedest to never, ever, ever watch it. Ever. Okay? There's a couple other movies that are like this for me, where they're so dead to me. I'm so disgusted by even what they represent, the idea or anything behind them. I so badly want to not support them that I've made it like the fucking shit in Westworld, where I'm like, doesn't look like anything to me. I'll never watch it. Ever. I can't speak to its quality. And yet I know in my heart of hearts that's a poopy doo-doo stinker of a movie. And so it gets the poop tier. You clicked the video. It's not. I didn't click the video. You clicked the video. Okay. Multiverse of Madness. Oh, man. How long should we put... how long? How much of the stream should I take up telling you all why you're fucking wrong about Multiverse of Madness and why it's an S tier? How long? Okay. Maybe one of the most misunderstood Marvel movies ever. A movie that Kevin Feige knew was so important to what he was setting up that he spent an extra $100 million, delayed the film, and shot basically an entire new movie just to make sure it was as good as it possibly can be. And it is that fucking good. From the jump to the credits, it is a ride. It is a ride of a movie. It has the energy of some of the early Sam Raimi stuff, the Evil Dead shit, where it just kind of goes and it's fun and, you know, it just boom, 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 boom. The horror elements in the movie utilized so well. I'm not a horror fan, but I love genre blending, and sprinkling a little horror on other genres like science fiction or fantasy can really, really do some cool stuff, like, you know, Pan's Labyrinth, a little bit of Warhammer energy in there. Like, I like genre blending. The horror to the superhero genre here was blended perfectly, beautifully. And I think the main reason as to why believe this movie is S tier is, as a massive fucking Doctor Strange fan, read a lot of Doctor Strange comics. This felt like comic book Stephen Strange from the jump. The scenes at the wedding are absolutely incredible and feel so Stephen to me. I also think there's a lot of care given in the reshoots to make the story about Stephen Strange. People are like, yo, this movie's really about America Chavez. Are you kidding me? America Chavez is this girl that is like completely helpless, can't even use her powers, and she is guided by Strange the entire time. Strange has autonomy the entire time, including up to the very last minute when America wants to use her powers to do the thing to confront Wanda, and he literally says in his fucking zombie ass body, not yet. He literally has the control the entire movie, and this is very similar to the Ahsoka thing, where a lot of people are like, they just see Whammon and they go nuts and they think, oh, it's fucking Whammon and the male character's getting shit on again. It's so crazy to me. The nuance that was put in the movie is not appreciated. It's a really, really great character study. Steven confronts mirrors of himself throughout the entirety of the movie. He's like learning more of himself by way of the variants, and then he proves that although he's different than all the other Stevens, he's kind of still just like him, as he does the same thing, takes the Darkhold knowledge, opens up his third eye, etc., etc. It's phenomenal. It's complex. Okay, that's enough. It's an S-tier movie. Black Adam. Black Adam. Bro, this movie's fun, man. I liked Black Adam. I'm going to put it in the B category. A lot of people shit on Black Adam. I had just as much fun watching Black Adam as I did with the Eternals. It's good. It's good. Now, a couple of different things the movie does completely ridiculously wrong. The character of Black Adam, weirdly different than the comic book character of Black Adam. You just got to kind of live with it, you know? You just got to kind of be like, all right, it's The Rock's Black Adam. Let's do this thing. Because that's not Black Adam. This is sort of emphasized even further at the end of the film when he sits on the throne, and it's dope. And I'm like, let's go, Black Adam. And then he destroys the throne. I was like, what the fuck? So that's whack. But man, I really enjoy the movie. I think the action is fantastic. I think the way they use the music is fantastic. I actually like the dynamic of the Justice Society. Those characters are like underrated in my opinion. You know, Hawkman, Dr. Fate, and Cyclone, and fucking Giant homie, I forget his name, but dude, they were awesome. I actually really liked that dynamic, and it was cool to feel like I was in a DC world that was a little bit more lived in, a little bit more like the DC comics. And of course, the Henry Cavill stuff at the end was dope. I thought Henry Cavill looked great. We were all so excited for him to come back until James Gunn, out of nothing but pettiness and ego, destroyed our hopes and dreams, and he's a horrible white-haired weirdo. Okay. Anything else we need to say about Black Adam? Anything? The kid was the worst part. The kid wasn't terrible, but I will say this. If you don't like kid actors, yeah, you're going to have a problem with this movie. You know? Yeah. Black Adam. I had a lot of fun with Black Adam. And you know what else? Out of all of the months since, and a lot of the months before Black Adam, I don't know if I've ever felt more connected to the DCU, or I guess at the time DCEU, than during the time of Black Adam. Like, because I'm a super nerd, right? It's like, I haven't felt that positive about the future and being like, oh shit, like, dude, like, yeah, like, oh man, like, Black, oh, DC, oh, dude, let's all Dr. Fate, you know? I just haven't felt like that. So you got to kind of give the movie a little bit of credit for doing that, you know? And I think at the end of the day, it's also kind of hilarious that this movie, which we're going to put right into the poop category, didn't even make as much money as Black Adam. You know, Warner Brothers pushed all their chips in the middle of the table for the Flash movie, and it didn't even make what Black Adam made. Did you know that the Flash will not even make as much money as Green Lantern did domestically? I mean, wow. By the way, another movie I'll probably never watch. It's going to be really hard to resist seeing some more Michael Keaton Batman. But considering that the movie is absolutely pointless, probably never going to watch it. You know what I mean? It's poop. It's poop, doo-doo, horrible, goobly glob, garbage. Does anybody disagree? Anybody? Okay, so you guys like The Flash? So should I move it up to D? Would that make everybody happier? Put it up to D. Guys, that's the best I can do. I can't go C. I can't give it C. I could give it D. That's the best I could do, okay? Yeah, sorry. Okay, let's talk about a movie I have seen that goes right into the poop category. Man, this is a heartbreaker. At a time when Marvel really needed a dub, they delivered maybe one of their worst fucking movies ever. Love and Thunder is atrocious. It is horrible. It is abysmally bad. It's not quite as bad as Quantumania, but holy shit is it close. Fucking hated this movie. And I remember like talking about it after it came out, and that one douchey British kid, I forget his even name, but he was like a TikToker kid. I blocked him a while ago. I remember after I watched the movie, I was like, this might be the worst MC movie I ever saw. And he was like, bro, no way you can actually feel like that. I was like, no, I fucking feel like that. Bro, it's bad. Hated it. And I do. I absolutely hate it. And I think one of the reasons that I really dislike it is that, you know, coming from Thor Ragnarok, which was like kind of genre redefining, like so incredible. Tarantino's favorite Marvel movie, like fucking Ragnarok, dude. Like, goddamn, you know, so good. And then also bringing Jane Foster Thor back. And man, again, like some of y'all were like, whammon, equal bad. And I wasn't there, okay? I actually think Jane's story in when she becomes Thor is actually kind of good. Like, Jason Aaron's an incredible writer. I think she sort of gets unfairly wrapped up in that culture war argument about Marvel Comics. The character's not bad, dude. Like, really had a good arc. Really had some really fun stuff going on in that comic. And I'm sitting here thinking, there's all these people that are saying MCU, and Taika is about to prove them all wrong. That's literally where I was at. I was like, man, all these people are like, MCU. And I was like, yeah, but this character's actually good. Marvel can make her even cooler. This is going to be incredible, and we're going to change the narrative. And instead of that, it was so bad, it reinforced the narrative. Even I was over here like, dude, it's MCU. We got to get rid of some of these hoes because this shit is crazy. They did the opposite. It fucked it up. He broke it. Oh my God. He's so... Dude, Taika is so lucky that Quantumania is so bad, because otherwise his movie might be pointed to at the movie that broke Marvel completely. It's fucking terrible, dude. Oh my God, I hate this movie. I hate this movie so much, I will no longer ever be able to be respectful of Taika Waititi if I am ever in the room with him. Like, I'll never be able to do it. I'll never be able to do it. I'll just be like, fucking Love and Thunder! Ah! Like, just every single time. Okay, should probably pull it back a little bit on that. Okay, anyway, okay. So that's Love and Thunder. Okay, it's really, really bad. Wakanda Forever. I'm gonna put it in the B tier, man. I literally had just as much fun watching Black Adam. Sorry, that's just what it is. I know a lot of you guys like Wakanda Forever. I think Wakanda Forever is... It's very purposeful in what it's trying to do. I can really respect the sort of boldness of, like, Ryan's basically like, no, like, this is what we're doing, and he does it. But there's just a lot of stuff that just, like, doesn't really work for me. I don't like the characters as much. I don't like the way that they did Namor. Namor's cool, but he's not comic book Namor cool. Like, I am sorry, guys. Like, read some Namor in the comics. And then watch Tana Huerta be like, well, she cut my fucking ankle feather off, but it's fine. Now we have an alliance. I was like, dude, wow. Wow. That's not Namor. Sorry. But there's a lot of cool stuff in the movie, you know? Like, there's, like, legitimately great scenes in the movie. I think it's a good adventure. It's a good watch. It's truly epic in scale. A lot of props to the film. And it's certainly not bad, right? It's worlds better than Love and Thunder. But doesn't hit A for me, doesn't hit S for me. They should have recast T'Challa. 100% should have recast T'Challa. Let's talk about The Batman. Oh, man. You thought the controversy was over? You thought the controversy was over? Where would you guys put The Batman at? Wow. It's poop. No, I'm just kidding. It is B, though. It's a B tier. I had, again, just as much fun watching Black Adam as I did The Batman. And in fact, if you've got 4 of these DVDs on the table, okay, let's just say, like, you know, you had a crazy night of video games. Everybody's winding down. You're all chilling in the living room. Let's throw something on the TV while everybody kind of just passes out, right? And you got these 4 DVDs on the coffee table. I'm picking Black Adam, dude. 100% I'm picking Black Adam. We would probably end up watching either Wakanda Forever or The Batman, because I think those are more popular and more of the homies would probably pick them. But I would pick Black Adam. Okay? The Batman is decent. There's some good stuff in the Batman movie, some fun Batman stuff in the movie, and I think one of the best parts of it is, like, dude, it's definitely not shit, and it gets you, like, excited about Batman. It made me want to go back and rewatch Batman. Made me want to read Batman. It's like it reinvigorated my love of Batman, and that's good. But dude, this Batman is not my Batman. It's not. No, thank you. So hockey pad wearing, emo, brooding, no difference between his Bruce Wayne and his Batman. His Riddler enemy's a Twitch streamer that snaps. Yeah. It's okay. You know, it's okay. There's some cool shit. But no, this is not going to be the Batman I put on. Every single one of Nolan's Batman movies clear this film. I would venture to say 90% of the animated Batman movies clear this film. I'd say director's cut of BVS clears this film. As far as the other Batman, Clooney definitely not. Keaton probably yes. Kilmer no. Yeah. Yeah. So look, I know a lot of you guys like the Batman. That's fine. I'm putting it into the B tier, guys. It's not like I put it into C, D, or poop. Okay? That's about all I could do for that. Quantum Mania, the movie that made me understand assisted suicide. It is a travesty. It is a goobly glob mess of unintelligible concepts. Absolutely bafflingly bad CGI. Performances that make me not understand casting. It is a big old pile of shit. So, no more. We don't even have to say any more about that, okay? Okay. Birds of Prey. I'll be honest with you. I kind of like Birds of Prey. That's right. I said it. I kind of like Birds of Prey. If you've never watched... How many of you guys have even seen Birds of Prey? To be honest with you. Have you seen it? Throw a 1 into the chat if you've seen it. At least you watched it? Yeah, well, I remember. Here's what's ironic about that. And some of you guys were around at this time. Some of you were not. But I remember I made a video shitting on it pretty hard before it even came out. And this was based on some leaks that Grace Randolph had. Okay. And a bunch of you guys were like, you're a hater. I hadn't even really begun to be a hater. But even back then, you guys were like, you're a fucking hater. So I agreed to watch it. I was like, fine, guys, I'll watch it. I don't do that shit anymore. But back then I was like, yeah, I'll go watch it, right? And I actually kind of liked it. Ewan McGregor literally eats up every scene he's in. Bro, he eats up every scene he's in. Now, is it the Black Mask from the comics? Fuck no. But it's kind of a nice black mask, dude. I kind of liked it. I thought it was good. Everything else kind of sucks, to be honest with you. That's not entirely true. I do think Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn is a unique match. Something in the way of like Ryan Reynolds to Deadpool. So she does her thing. But like the ending sequence, the action, everything else is pretty shit. But not a terrible movie. Not a terrible movie. Just kind of a bad one. Okay, Bloodshot. How many of you guys have seen Bloodshot? Did you even remember that this came out? Did anybody see Bloodshot? I thought it was pretty bad, dude. I thought it was pretty bad. I really like the Bloodshot comics. Incredible comics. I thought the movie was pretty shit. Yeah, it's a Valiant character. He's actually like really cool, man. I thought this came out in 2016. Somebody double check when this came out. I'm pretty sure it came out the year that Endgame came out. That was okay. It's just like very basic 90s plot, you know, pretty forgettable plot line and bad guys. Some cool action sequences. 2020. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like, okay. It's actually kind of shit. Okay, New Mutants. How many of you guys have seen New Mutants? We're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel here, man. What is New Mutants? Yeah, I'm going to put it in the D tier as well. It is just... Fox was like, what if we made the New Mutants, but basically made them unrecognizable from the comics and made a horror movie instead? And at first, like, I remember people being like, oh, it's kind of a fresh idea. This seems kind of fun. Then they, like, kept delaying it and changing it, and it just basically got the studio hack job treatment. Feel kind of bad for the different actors that are in there. But yeah, it's not very good. It's not very good. There's some fun effects. There's some fun, cool things in there. Like magic when she powers up is kind of cool. Other than that, yeah, kind of poo-poo. So, yeah. Okay, next one. Wonder Woman 1984. Yo, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of Wonder Woman 1984? What's your honest take on it? Poop, poop, poop. Trash. Poop, poop. It's pretty bad, huh? I remember I kind of had a soft spot for it when it first came out. I'm going to D-tier it. I don't think it's as bad as Thor or Quantumania. It's pretty bad, though. Pedro Pascal carries this movie. He's incredible in the film. They don't give him enough to do, but he's incredible in the movie. Chris Pine's always fun. I like Chris Pine. Gal kind of does her thing, even though she's weirdly, like, it's so weird. They make her so dependent in the film, so codependent. It's like really weird. This movie really does show you the power of Zack Snyder as a storyteller. A lot of you guys don't know this, but Zack was a story by Zack Snyder for the first Wonder Woman. He was very He was a really big part of what made the first Wonder Woman movie so good. And then Jeff Johns, Trev's favorite horrible, worst producer in the history of comic book movies, Jeff Johns collaborates with Patty Jenkins for Wonder Woman 84. And it's one of those situations where you're like, did we think she was incredible? And were we dead ass wrong? Because, man, that was some shitty Wonder Woman. You know what I mean? Pretty shitty. Okay, Black Widow. I'm a C-tier it, man. I'm a C-tier it. Black Widow's not terrible, but I don't... Do you guys ever see yourself rewatching a Black Widow? Like, real talk. Do you ever see yourself rewatching Black Widow? Some people say yes. That's cool. Yeah, no way. The only way I would rewatch Black Widow is if I was like required to because of something else. So I might do a whole MCU rewatch, and I will have to rewatch Black Widow just because it exists there in the timeline for the MCU. But I mean, it's like okay, it's okay. It's not even bad, but it's okay. The ending is terrible. The ending is fucking terrible. The Taskmaster is horrible. This was a beginning of the end that we didn't really see clearly at the time. I think that this movie benefited so much from the Infinity Saga, where we were all like, yeah, that's maybe one of the worst MCU movies ever. Whatever, wins the next one. Let's go. It's definitely not good. But it's not terrible either. It's certainly no Thor. It's certainly no Quantum Mania. But yeah, pretty shit, huh? Okay, this one might be controversial. The Suicide Squad. What do you guys think about The Suicide Squad? Where are you at with it? Wow, really mixed opinions on this one. Holy cow, I haven't seen this many mixed opinions in a long time. I'm tempted to put it in C. But I think I'll put it in B. Here's why. I don't really like James Gunn's style, so for me it's a C, but I think objectively it's better than these two movies. I think I'd have to agree that it's better than these two. And it has some fun stuff in it. I mean, I think Starro is amazing. That's so crazy that they did that. The movie's funny. There's some cool scenes in it. It's just like not really for me, dude. Like that's not my favorite part of comics. You know, it's a bunch of goofball type, you know, shit going on. I think it's just way too James Gunn. But having said that, there's some fun stuff in there. The effects look great. Had a fun time watching it. So it's all right. Shang-Chi. Where do you put Shang-Chi at, folks? Where are you going to put that? Where are you going to put it? Yeah. Definitely in the A tier. I would say outside of Multiverse of Madness and Spider-Man, probably the best movie produced by Marvel in the last 4 years. Incredible movie. Great action. Incredible character development. There's only a few things that hold the movie back. It's like a little bit of like pacing. And honestly, the action not being peak Kung Fu hurts it just a little bit for me. So like there was a part of me that wanted Shang-Chi to be like on the level of like Ip Man, you know, like House of Flying Dragons, Hero, like for it to like be awe-inspiring action. And I will tell you, the action in the Winter Soldier movie in Civil War is better. The hand-to-hand combat in Winter Soldier is better. So it's A, but it doesn't like quite get into S tier. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like a lot of what Shang-Chi has to offer, and I'm excited to see more of the character in the MCU. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. What do you guys think about that? Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Wow. A lot of mixed opinions on this one too, huh? Okay, this is another one that like I want to put it in B tier, but it's probably C. Let's be honest. The movie has some cool moments, man. There's like a great movie hidden within this film. You know, some of the stuff at Rackham or whatever the prison is, I forget, is creepy, awesome, cool. Some of the carnage stuff is fantastic. I think the movie is pretty hurt by the fact that it's not rated R, and they actually wanted it to be Disney. Where's Guardians 3? That's actually a great point. Where is Guardians 3? We'll just like put Guardians 3 in there. Guardians 3 is probably A, to be honest. It's really good. But yeah, going back to Venom, like, it just doesn't get there. And I think they partially hid the violence and the blood to try to play nice with Disney. And I think that was a huge mistake. Like, they should have just went all out with it, you know? And I also think, like, the ending's pretty lackluster. But, damn, fun movie, you know? Definitely fun, and I like the characters, so I'd put it in the C tier. And I think it's better than Black Widow and Birds of Prey. All right, let's talk Guardians, because I fucked up and forgot to put it on here. I'm going to put Guardians 3 at A. It's really good, dude. It's really good. If I see the movie again, and, like, I'm more blown away than I was before, I could see myself pushing Guardians into the S tier. I think it is legitimately that good. And, I mean, that's impressive for all kinds of reasons, but, you know, damn, dude, like, just to really close out a trilogy like that, pretty brilliant. So it's either A or S tier. I'm going to put it in A for now. Again, I just don't love James Gunn's style, so some of the stuff doesn't necessarily work for me, like all the fleshy stuff, some of the jokes. But the visual elements are insane. The story is bold. The writing is fucking on point, dude. Guardians 3 is very well written. So it's like either A or S. I can't quite decide. I'll put it in A for now. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Okay, class. Let's see. What do you say? Zack Snyder's Justice League. What does the class say? Oh my God. A lot of you know what's up. It's an easy S tier. Easy S. One of the most enjoyable comic book movies I've ever seen. I would rather watch Justice League than most of the Marvel catalog. 100% facts. It is incredible. Now, there are caveats on caveats here. This is obviously not the same movie that Zack turned into Warner Brothers before leaving because of his daughter's suicide. He obviously had time to think about it, conceptualize, see what the critical response was, take notes, make changes. The post-production on this movie is kind of like years long. But I would argue it's the model for why that kind of care should be given to almost every film. Because I think it is pretty damn flawless. It's so damn good. The character stuff is so deep and meaningful. The build-up is incredible. I think the action with, like, the gods, the lanterns, all the cool stuff that he throws into it, and the ending with Superman coming back in the black suit. Holy shit. It's incredible, dude. It is an S-tier film, hands down, in my opinion. Okay. Spider-Man, Far From Home. What do you guys think? Spider-Man, Far From Home. What do you think? Okay. So everybody's like a lot of B's and A's. I'm going to put it in the A category. I actually think the film is kind of underrated, and I think maybe some of the buzz for No Way Home kind of overshadows the film. I think it's incredible, man. I think Jake Gyllenhaal is brilliant. I think Nick Fury is brilliant in the movie. I think Tom Holland is brilliant. I think the supporting cast is brilliant. I love this movie, man. And especially, like, yeah, I really think it's good and solid. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I just remember at the time thinking, like, damn, this movie's kind of awesome. And yeah, so I love it, man. I love it. I think it's really, really good. I think it stands shoulder to shoulder with, like, Joker and Shang-Chi, and I think it's way better than a lot of the B-tier movies. Like, I think it is, like, worlds better than a lot of the B-tier. So, yeah, that's my list. That's my list. Okay, now, to truly get a comparison, And maybe we'll do this on stream on Thursday after we talk about Secret Invasion. To really do a comparison, we need to save this result, which I will just download the image. Okay. And then we need to look at the comic book movies leading up to Endgame. And maybe we should do like just starting in the Marvel in 2008, you know? And we'd have to compare and be like, oh, Across the Spider-Verse. Oh, Shazam 2. Damn it, you're right. You're right. Okay, so let's do this. Shazam 2, poop. Across the Spider-Verse, S tier. Yeah. Yeah. Dark Phoenix, poop. Dark Phoenix is also poop. So 2 more poops, 1 more S tier. Okay, I will have to adjust this later. Okay. Cool. Poop tier is crushing. Yeah, it kind of is. So if we look at this list here, and then we look on Thursday at the list of all of the movies beforehand, it's going to be really interesting to see. But I think having like 4 S tiers, 3 A tiers, and 4 B tiers, I kind of think comic book movies have been okay. You know what I mean? Like, yes, there are a good bit down here in the C, D, and poop, but there's a ton of great stuff here at the top. So I just don't know that we can really say like the genre has completely fallen off since Endgame. I think that narrative is false. You know? Yeah, it sort of feels worse than it actually is, as Carlos says. Now, that is a little bit because of recency bias, right? Because, like, look, if you remove the Justice League, because that came out a long time ago. What else this one kind of came out a long time ago. This one came out a long time. That came out a long time ago. That came out a long time ago. So once you take that out and you're looking at there, I still think it's good. I still think it's actually like not as bad as people think. It's just really a recency bias game. And I think that the lead up into Infinity War and Endgame was so hype that like we're really subconsciously comparing all of this shit to like how we were feeling then. You know? I think you could definitely make the argument that things have, you know, some things have stumbled. And the fact that you have like Marvel Studios down here with like 2 movies in the poop tier, that's probably the most shocking, to be honest. Is that you've got 2 major Marvel movies that are absolute shit. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Kind of fun, though. Kind of fun to go over it and sort of talk about it and everything like that. I hope you guys had a good time. Okay, so I want to get into Q&A. I just want to go over the super chats, member chats, and everything like that. And then we're going to call it a day, boys and girls, okay? So let's see here. See what we got here. See what we got here. Okay, we'll move that there. Okay, Michael Phantom, welcome back to the Nerd Ventures. Then you said with a 10 spot, I'm curious as to your thought on the controversy after Indy bombed concerning why they recast General Ross but not T'Challa. I started seeing this on social media. I understand both decisions. Yeah. So that whole thing is weird, man. And I think some of what like the people from Marvel would tell you, and I do think they have a different perspective than we do just as fans and stuff, right? A lot of people are saying, as the people that worked with Chad, they could not see themselves working with a different actor to play Chad's role. I gotta say I understand it. But I would have just delayed the movie for maybe 2 more years and then did that. Like, give the amount of respect that you think is there and just take your time, and then maybe you approach a recast and you sort of approach it all slow. One of the things that nobody's going to admit on Disney or Marvel's side is that the fact that it's still commercial art was the driving force to create this sequel without the star on that timetable. So while I understand and respect their position and their closeness to Chad, let's not get it twisted. It's because it's a product. That's why they just kept going. Right? So it's a tough one. Now, when it comes to Thunderbolt Ross, it is a little hypocritical and it is a little bit weird, but I would also say that I think it's pretty fair that a sort of supporting character in Thunderbolt Ross, played by William Hurt, getting replaced, and then given a lot more prominence. I see that just a little bit differently than what happened with Chad, but I do think that there's a lot to go into it. I'll tell you this, recasting Jonathan Majors, that would be a really interesting parallel. And it would be really interesting to sort of examine what's the thought process on both of these different things and how's that going to work. Because I would argue that despite all of the maybe real life bad stuff that's connected to Jonathan, he is even more of a prominent character for what they're trying to do than Black Panther was. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's I don't know what the answer is, but I know it's not being handled in the best way. I don't even know what the best way would be, It's weird, man. It's a weird one. Okay. Ben says, Kathleen Kennedy must have mob... Wait, why do I feel like I'm missing a bunch of the chats and shit now? I don't know. I'll have to go back in and look at that. Ben says, Kathleen Kennedy must have mob connections. I cannot understand how she was not fired 5 years ago. Does she have Bob Iger's son locked up in a basement or something? I don't think she has that, but I think there's a couple of things. She has a built-in protection because of the narrative that was started by the Phantom Menace. I know this probably seems counterintuitive, but the fact that they started that narrative, frankly, a little bit early and a little bit outside of like being a valid argument, created the narrative of wanting to protect her from haters and trolls. So there's an aspect there of like them being like, well, we don't want to like harm her legacy or feed trolls or whatever, right? There's also part of it that I think nobody does want that job. I don't even know if anybody can do that job at this point. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird though, right? Like, it is weird. Trillo Riz says they killed off Miss Marvel character in the comics. That's true, but I think they're bringing her back, and Iman is writing the new book with her coming back, and I think that's kind of cool. Orange Grove says, do you think Apple would do a good job at managing Disney's IP/content, etc.? It's hard to say that if they would do a better job or not, but they have an opportunity to have a sort of slate wiping thing with the optics of the situation. So essentially, like, consider this. The first big investor call or, D23 thing, the first one after Apple buys the company, you'll probably get something of a boilerplate statement that will go something like this. We think the legacy of the Disney IP, characters, theme parks, and movies is legendary, and we are looking to carry that legacy forward into the future with respect and admiration. We also think there are opportunities within the structure of Disney as a company where our expertise running Apple can come into play. We look forward to making some changes to Disney's pipeline and structure with their parks, etc., that we think will be more in line with consumer needs and bolstered by the technology of blah, 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 like some shit like that. And they're basically saying, Disney's cool. They kind of fucked up. We can fix it. That's like in between the lines. Like that's what they would basically be saying. And frankly, I don't even think they're wrong. You know what I mean? Like that could actually be the case. 3 Royalty Gaming says, first time catching a live stream. Hashtag Luke Soka. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate the love. Hunting Dude says, Ayo, 5 months. Finally, let's go. Hell yeah, man. We'll get you into the Diamond Lounge soon. Elijah says, with a $10 holler, ever since I've been a nerd venture, I've been happy with my length, but it's not stopped growing, and now it's getting out of hand. Is there anything in the fine print about how to reverse this? Help. Nah, man. That we haven't really looked into that. I mean, we can look into that. It's just, it's a struggle, so it'll be like that South Park episode where they all stick their nuts in the microwave and then they're all like bouncing on them and shit. I mean, think about that. Emojo with a 27-month member chat says, if we don't get a new song out of Bobenheimer, we riot. If we don't get a new song out of wait, what? You're going to have to explain that one to me like I'm 9 years old. J. Dot says, what's up, Josh? Have you seen the new trailer for The Creator yet? If not, you definitely got to see it. I saw it earlier today on Twitter. It looks sick, dude. I'm excited for that movie, to be honest. I think it's going to be cool, bro. Joey Ebb says, I don't think Oppenheimer is going to haul at the box office. 400, 500 million tops. Looks like the movie and marketing budget was 100 million each. With a budget, where does it need to be to not be a flop? I think in that range, it will not be a flop. If it was really just a $200 million package all day, then I believe at 400 million, they make their money back. If they hit 500 million, they make 100 million or something like that, basically. So yeah, they're going to be good with that. And you might be right. It might not take a big chunk out of Mission Impossible's lunch. We're not sure. They might, because it's also a biopic. It's like a 3-hour biopic about a guy who made the bomb. So it's like, I can see a lot of people being like, I think it's really targeted at cinephiles. I don't think too many like normies are going to go see Oppenheimer. I expect Barbie to outpace it at the box office. And I think that's probably in line with what a lot of industry experts say. I would be shocked if it was the other way around. The Sound of Freedom is eating Tom Cruise's lunch a little bit. It's kind of crazy, the amount of money that Sound of Freedom is making. You can argue about, well, all of that. But money is money, and it's making a lot of money. So it's kind of eating the lunch of a lot of these different Hollywood movies right now, which is really interesting. Lord Vito says, the writer's strike is depressing. Here's a quote from Electro. Look at me. I'm fully charged. When I'm slightly aroused, my dick is large. Catch me if you can, Spider-Man. Legs like the gingerbread man? Great Jedi says, I hope you're well, Josh. Any news on Ahsoka? No. No news. Trev says, maybe the American streaming experience is different from a lot of comparable foreign nations' experiences with streaming. Maybe. I'm not sure what you're getting at there, but I think you could be right. Rosie says with a $10 holler, UPS is going to strike on the 31st. They had 3 incredibly profitable years because of the pandemic. UPS did not want to give the drivers a raise. The CEO got a $19 million bonus, just like the studio executives. I know, it's crazy. That whole corporate structure is weird. I think a lot of it's out of balance. It's really weird. And yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, Shit. Frex says, about Ahsoka negativity. Lucasfilm is the one who markets Ahsoka as 3 female-led show, so you can't blame these people for not being excited, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't necessarily blame them. I think there's a difference between thinking that the logic that takes a person to a conclusion is flawed and then blaming them for having that flawed logic, right? It's like, look, people make emotional decisions. So here's a great example. How many people do you think are voting for the President of the United States based on policy? What's the percentage? What percentage of Americans are voting based on policy? Yeah, it's very few. Most people probably couldn't even tell you the policies of the candidate that they are supporting. Most people vote emotionally. Emotionally. Right? So, as a politician, if you focus on policy, even though by all rights that's what you should be focusing on, if you focus on policy and get demolished because somebody else is just saying things that emotionally resonate with people, then you are being a bad politician. Right? So if you're Disney and you understand that most people aren't going to look at Ahsoka the same way that people like maybe I or some of you are going to look at it, and we're like, yeah, but these are not just female characters. These are like well-earned, awesome characters that we're all excited to see. If you're Disney and you're marketing the film or the show as that, and that would be like focusing on policy as a politician. It is a bad move. And so if Disney is making a bad move by just promoting the show as this big female fest, yeah, sure. You know? I would argue, though, they actually haven't done that. But it is possible that the narrative that Disney has allowed to cultivate over the past 5 years is so strong that it almost doesn't matter how they market it. It's just going to fit into that narrative. Does that make sense at all? Did that make sense? Detoxing for Life says, every time I see Reva merch on clearance at retailers or at Disneyland, I just roll my eyes and laugh inside. Josh for president of Lucasfilms. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Grant says, we disagree, but I still love you. Snyder Watchmen rating? Oh, dude, S tier. S tier. One of the greatest comic book movies ever made. So good. Love that film. Demigod says, Batman had better story than No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness. Really? So somebody explain to me, what's the story of the Batman? Anybody? Somebody explain it to me. What's the story? Give me the elevator pitch. In fact, should we just look up the log line? Okay. Let's just read the log line of this and then the log line of No Way Home. Wait, that's not the log line. Okay, here we go. When a sadistic serial killer begins murdering key politician figures in Gotham, Batman is forced to investigate the city's hidden corruption and question his family's involvement. Not bad. Not bad. Let's see. Check out Spider-Man No Way Home. With Spider-Man's identity now revealed, Peter asks Doctor Strange for help. When a spell goes wrong, dangerous foes from other worlds start to appear, forcing Peter to discover what it truly means to be Spider-Man. Come on, man. A sadist. I'm going to read them in the tone that I feel is appropriate for the vibe of the film. When a sadistic serial killer begins murdering key political figures in Gotham, sorry, Batman is forced to investigate shit. With Spider-Man's identity now revealed, Peter asks Doctor Strange for help. When a spell goes wrong, dangerous foes from other worlds start to appear, forcing Peter to discover what it truly means to be Spider-Man. I mean, come on, man. You're telling me hockey pad wearing mopey ass emo boy Batman had a better story investigating politicians? They're all the fucking same scene. Oh shit, it's all dark and dire. Bad stuff's happening. Batman literally can't stop the Riddler the whole fucking movie. It's trash. Anyway, Michael, welcome back to the Nerd Adventures. Then you said with a $10 holla. I'm curious as to your thought on the controversy after indie bombing concerning the recast. Oh, we went over that. Rob Karts, what's up, brother? Says S tier. Appreciate you. Darth Rebo, thanks for the gifting of the sub. Oh, shit, Dirty, I'm so sorry. We were supposed to ship those Funkos out a while ago. I will talk to Elisa about that today. We'll get those shipped out, brother. My bad. George Carlos says, Josh, what comic movies do you like/love that weren't commercially successful? That's a good question. That weren't successfully I mean, you could argue the Snyder Cut was not successful, but I love it. I like Eternals. It flopped. I like Black Adam. People said it flopped, so there's a couple right there. Mars. Oh, shit. Hang on. Mars says, hey, Josh, just checking in with you and the fam. Hope all is well. Much love to you and the Nerd Avengers. Appreciate you, man. Things are good, but thank you. John's Honest Take says, the MCU/Marvel has definitely diminished, and because they were the juggernauts of CMBs, or CBMs, their failing lately has diminished comic book movies. Yeah, I could see that. I understand that logic. PJ says, you plan on watching Blue Beetle or Aquaman 2? Nope. Those movies are going to bomb and should just release right to Max, coming from a huge DC fan. Yeah. So, man, I see a lot. It kind of breaks my heart a little bit. I see so many people trying to go to bat for Blue Beetle. I see so many people being like, don't let this one bomb, guys. And I just got to say, that's just going to bomb bad. It's going to be a fucking disaster. But the best I can do, the most I can do, is just not gleefully dance on its grave the way I did Indiana Jones and The Flash. That's the best I can do, because that shit's going to bomb. Sorry. It just is. What website were you using for the tier system? It's called tierlist.com, or like making a tier list. What the fuck is it? Tiermaker.com. Tiermaker.com. And you can do that same one that I just did. Mr. Lucky says, yo, Josh, finally hit 6 months of being a member. How do I get into the Diamond Lounge? No Adventures for Life, and keep up the amazing work and streams. Well, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, you just got to hit up somebody on the Discord. One of the mods can get you set up over there, man. We'll get you set up, bruh. Chibouise says, should Marvel Comics have a new 52 type reboot? No, I don't think so. I don't think there's a need right now. I think Marvel Comics is actually doing better than it's done in like 5 or 6 years. And it's still, has some issues here and there, but I think for the most part, they're doing pretty good. The Joker says, I'm a type to make you turn into Hulky. I don't know what that means, bro, but don't do it. Matthew says, No Way Home has low rewatch value. Once you know the cameos, the whole show is gone. And then he followed up and says, some voters use their favorite politician's Twitter feed to regulate their own emotions. Yeah, that's probably true. But you're dead ass wrong about No Way Home, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Chivawee says, Disney needs to make mature movies to help their rep. Yeah, and I think Deadpool 3 could be a part of that. I think Deadpool 3 could absolutely be a part of that. Because I do think they've kind of gotten into this trap, man, of like their reputation and it's not good, and the Disneyfication of everything. It kind of sounds shitty. Yeah. So. All right, guys. I'm going to hang for like 5 more minutes. What else is on everybody's mind? Pretty fun one. Pretty fun stream, I felt. I'm trying to come up with some cool ideas because the news will probably be pretty light for a while. So like I said, we'll talk Secret Invasion on Thursday, but we're also going to do a tier list of all of the Marvel, all of the comic book movies that came out during the Infinity Saga. You're only a little hatery. Oh, that's good. That's nice. Secret Invasion trailer. I mean, how's that gonna be cool? How's that gonna be cool? I mean, Mission Impossible? Dude, I love the new Mission Impossible. I thought it was so good. I'd love to see it again, to be honest with you. It's a little long, but damn, I think it's great. Only 2 episodes. Okay, so the new... Let's watch the new Secret Invasion trailer. The Exodus says, if Shang-Chi 2 is after Kang Dynasty, maybe the plot sees the Ten Rings being key to navigating what's left of the multiverse to collect survivors. Yeah, I think that could be the case, man. I think that could be the case, actually, which is kind of fun, huh? All right. Here we go. Let's check out this trailer together, guys.
Nick Fury, my war is set in motion. This is the extinction of the human race.
So you are responsible for all this?
Why do you think I came back?
After everything you've lost, do you still have any fight left in you?
The only power I have was planted between my ears by a single mother. If that ain't enough, I don't know what hope we have.
You're the most wanted and hated man on the planet. Consider this a preview, Nick. I'm gonna make sure you get the whole show.
You're out of moves, Fury. This is a ticking time bomb.
You got to figure out which side you're on.
Marvel Studios' Secret Invasion.
You going to shoot me? Maybe. Oh, probably.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't know, man. I think we know exactly what the show is, you know, unfortunately. And I don't really see it. I mean, it's like part of me is like trying to hold out hope for some really big, you know, thing happening or something really. I just don't, you know. And to be honest with you, like, it's kind of weird because I'm not even that mad about it. Like, it's not like I'm like, yo, Marvel, how dare you? It's like, no, I kind of get it. I'm not gonna act like I like it, you know? And I just think that, like, the best thing I could do as a Marvel fan is just be like, nah, man, less of this, please. Like, less of this. I don't like it. And just let our voice be heard. And hope that Feige and crew and co are like, okay, this isn't resonating. Let's do, you know, something a little bit better next time, something a little bit more epic, because Secret Vision is just not it, bro. Chilling in the basement says, I wish Nuance hadn't been killed by ignorance. Yeah, Nuance is tough, man. Unfortunately, it's kind of always been tough. We're just emotional creatures, you know? George Carlos says, do you think you would like some movies more if they were super successful / not tied to drama? Dark Phoenix, New Mutants, etc. Thanks for the streams. It's possible. I understand what you're saying. The problem is, like, you kind of... That just can't happen, really. That's not how we engage in content anymore. And I think the studios need to realize that. I think that's actually a big thing that the studios do not understand, is how the narrative affects the content. Content creators get it because we kind of live in that space. We have to get it to be successful. But Disney and the other corpos, they don't get it. So it's possible, man. It's possible. Lord of Darkness says, hi, Josh Reset subscriber. I think I've solved why Marvel suck at TV. They are used to making movies, so they are good at setup. But when it comes to them TV, they cannot finish the plot within 6 episodes. Respect. I don't know why you needed to do all caps, but I appreciate the 20 spot. You know what I mean? Thank you for that. And there's probably a little bit of truth there. Yeah, I don't think they really did step into TV in any meaningful way. I know a lot of people were like, but the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That was Jeff Loeb. That was not Marvel Studios. That was Marvel Television. I thought we were better than that around here. Yeah, no, I think there's some truth to that. Disney Plus shows need to be released 1 or 2 drops at most. Also, better writing. I agree with that. Did I like the 1997 Spawn? Yes. The 1997 Spawn was great, and so was the show. Loveness. Yeah. Mikhail says, happy Monday, everyone. I'm leaving off to college in exactly 1 month, and man, I'm very nervous. I know you're going to help me push through, Josh. Much love to you. Hell yeah, brother. I'll be here in the tower for you whenever you need it. Whenever. The lights are always on for the Nerd Vengers, baby. Okay. I'm going to get on out of here, guys. I've got a big video dropping for you today, all about Jean Grey versus the Scarlet Witch. It's going down in Deadpool 3, and it's going to be fucking awesome. And not only is it going to be awesome, possibly incredibly meaningful to the multiverse saga and to Secret Wars. Get hyped. That video is going to blow your socks off. So check that video out later today. We should be on for Nerd Theory tonight. Probably talk a little with Ahsoka, just talk some things going on with Star Wars. So it should be a good show for you later tonight. Warhammer channel should be dropping this week sometime. Just a little bit behind. I'll explain it all tomorrow in the Nerd Vengers stream. I'll see the Nerd Vengers tomorrow at 11 a.m. We'll chat it up about everything that's going on. Probably won't be a stream until Thursday morning, guys, unless something changes, which it might. I might stream Wednesday. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But I'm kind of considering not even talking about Secret Invasion on stream, to be honest with you. Like, maybe I'll talk about it on Friday. Maybe we just stream Wednesday, bro. Let's do another tier list Wednesday. You know? Shit. All right, everybody. Much love. I appreciate you guys. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? We know Kathleen ain't. Jesus Christ. Did everybody leave? Aw, man. Another day. Another great stream. And we shall keep the flame of fandom alive, despite what these jerk-offs in Hollywood keep on trying to do. I appreciate you. Hope you go on to have a hyped-up Monday. I'll see you later. Open up your third eye and wash out that stinky butt. I'll see you later.